Let's give you the markets update now. The JSE looking set to trade along mixed global markets this morning with a risk-off tone prevailing on U.S. markets overnight. Mia Kruger is Director of Research at Kruger International. She joins us now to talk us through the latest business news. Mia, very good morning to you. So the markets have had time to digest the latest GDP data. How are the markets doing in early trade?
Yes, Dolly, the markets are actually following what we're seeing on international markets, with the JSE down just over a percentage point at this stage. The industrials are leading this downturn with just down over 1.2% at this time. The only green shoot that I'm seeing on the top 40 at this time is clicks up, and then the rest we are seeing in the red this morning. The rand has remained quite buoyant after what we've seen for the last 2 weeks. We saw quite a strong recovery leading up until yesterday, and then it started deteriorating slightly from Monday, but still very strong at this level of about 14.30, where we're trading at the moment against the dollar.
Yeah, you talk about clicks. Let's look at other companies. Anglo American releasing its rough diamond sales value for De Beers' 7th sales cycle. That's in 2021. How are those numbers looking? And just broadly, how is the sector faring?
Yes, so at this moment we're seeing the provisional numbers that Anglo brought to the market of the cycle 7, which is the period really from the 23rd of August until the 7th of September. So those numbers will still be finalized. But it seems that it is higher, with over 54% from last year this time in the 7th cycle. It's also marginally higher than the 6th cycle, which is just the previous cycle of this year, which was about $514 million, and this cycle $515 million. We've seen quite a robust demand coming from China and the US after the lockdowns have eased, but also reading various reports from Morgan Stanley and some of the other data providers, they have said that people tend to, after the lockdown and after COVID, start focusing more on experiences rather on things, and that it seems like the diamond market and luxury goods will have a tougher time competing with the return of experiences as travel. That remains to be seen, and the verdict is still out on that opinion.
Yeah, let's talk Momentum Metropolitan Holdings announcing its financial results for the year ended 30th June. How did the insurance company perform in the year under review?
Yes. So we've seen their numbers come out this morning, and as they mentioned that we were expecting a downturn in the headline earnings. We saw a downturn of about 54% from the headline earnings on Momentum. The fact is that they have seen a much higher amount of deaths that they expected. They're the largest in life insurance in South Africa. They were, though, upbeat about the fact that they have seen quite a good recovery in the investments and in the new business segment of their numbers. But unfortunately, very, very high death numbers that we've seen after the COVID third wave, and that's impacted the results negatively.
Sure. Let's conclude our conversation, Mayor, with something of a brain teaser, if you like. Deputy Finance Minister David Masondo suggesting that investors forgive about 146 billion rand, that's about $10.2 billion of sovereign debt in exchange for power utility Eskom meeting its climate targets. Your view about how this is likely to land with investors, but also importantly, the feasibility of all of this?
Yes, well, we need to be realistic in terms of the problems that Eskom is grappling with, and also the problems that we are grappling with globally on an emission scale. This is a tough debate, as investors normally want a bang for their buck, so I'm not as sure that it will be as easily forgiven or accepted by investors as the minister is suggesting. But there is room for movement, as I think people have changed their approach to carbon emissions and have also started focusing quite a lot, especially after the most recent Paris Accord agreement review has come to the fore, that we really need to do a lot when it comes to carbon emissions to start focusing on just sustaining the viability of the increases in temperatures in the globe.
Mia Kruger, thank you very much for your time. She is Director of Research at Kruger International. Thanks indeed for your time.